There is a difference between being delivered and be set free. Many people think when you are delivered, you are free. No, you are not free. You are still a slave. You see, many people, they have walked out of the path of destruction and the weakness they used to when they are young, and they have changed. But still, the pictures, they are still in their mind. The pictures of their past keep popping in their mind, and sometimes it controls them, pulls them down, it makes them lose control for a while. It's because they are still slaves of their past. And for you to be great, you need to walk through this path of transformation. It's a path from being delivered to being set free. Being delivered, you are delivered from physical weaknesses. Many people, they have stopped walking from the weaknesses, but that weakness is still in their mind. And without the journey to the desert, you cannot change that picture you see in your mind. Many people today, they do everything they want before getting married. You enjoy everything, but when you need that marriage, it isn't working out. Why? Because of the picture you see in your mind. You are still a slave of the past. You are still a slave of the things you used to do. And that's why it isn't happening. That's why you need that marriage, and you see all the time you are judging your spouse because you can't see anything worthy in her or in him. You are a slave of the past. Many people, they stop walking from their weak ways and start walking the path of being delivered, but they don't walk to the path of being set free. They choose a shield that looks like alignment. Instead of fighting the weakness in their mind and stand and take the authority of their life, they don't do that. They choose a shield that cover them to execute their weaknesses in a certain alignment. But at the end of the day, they break because they are still slaves. So stopping yourself from any kind of weakness doesn't mean you are free. Changing your mindset is when it means you're free. Because that mindset you had in weakness cannot lead you to greatness. And Paul said it is a grind between flesh and spirit. And Paul said it is a fight. Your flesh wants this and your spirit wants this. Unless you support your spirit to grow and your flesh becomes weak, then you cannot see the greatness of God. You cannot do the will of God. And there is no other path. This is only path of salvation. And also Paul said you have to move from the position of taking milk and start taking food. You have to move from elementary teaching to define what's right and what's wrong. Because when you are in state of choosing what's right and what's wrong, then you are growing. You know, this is wrong and you are not supposed to do it. You let it go. You go where you are supposed to be. The path to the desert, the route to the desert is a route that you cannot walk alone. You can only walk with God. You can only be led by Holy Spirit. Without God, you cannot walk through this path. No one can lead you through this path. You see, Moses led the people from the hands of Pharaoh. They were out of the hands of Pharaoh. Moses brought them into the desert. And many people, they doubted God. Others were willing to get back to Egypt because Egypt looks familiar when they heard about the promised land, because they know nothing about the promised land, but they were familiar with Egypt. They think Egypt will give them still more peace than where they are going. It takes faith for you to believe. It takes faith to work on where you are going, because you must prepare when you are still in the desert. You must defeat that Egypt in your mind. Those things you used to do keep popping up in your mind. Then they are the things which will terrorize you, will make you not to go anywhere. Remember, many of these people who are delivered from the hands of Pharaoh, they never get to the promised land. They died on the way. It's because they were more terrorized by Egypt in their mind. And they stayed in the same place for 40 years. Only 2 people who believed it is possible, they have seen the promised land. And you, my brother, my sister, the pictures you see in your mind, those pictures, they keep popping up of your past. Is the pictures that will ruin your life. Is the pictures that will block you not to go to the greatness, because a slave cannot be given a kingdom. And everyone is a queen, everyone is a king. Ecclesiastes 10:16, woe to the land whose king was served, woe to the land whose king was a servant, and whose principal feast in the morning. Where a slave becomes a king, that land is in trouble. You cannot grow. You cannot get where you are. You cannot get where you are supposed to be unless you keep beating your action into captivity and serve God. Because there are some of your action, there are some of your thoughts right now, they are terrorizing your life. They are attacking your life every day. And you think there's someone who's fighting you, but it's you who's blocking yourself. Others, they carry bitterness, they carry hatred to this level, and you cannot grow with those things because that hatred you feel, you need to kill it. That's not to appear. And when you get delivered through this process, you go to the point of righteousness. And righteousness is where the will of God come to pass. Many people today, they don't want to walk on this path. They just want to step, and they go to church and pastor present them to God through praying for salvation, and they don't want to walk beyond that. There's still a distance there. When a pastor presents you to God, then it's your responsibility to take care of salvation because it is your declaration. It's like these people, they have declared to follow you, Lord. That's a servant of God presenting you to God. And God does not check the words, checks your action. How are you committed with your action? In the book of Jeremiah says, when you pray, God tests your mind, checks your heart, and answers you according to your action. And today, you need to lay your action into work and put everything into practice. Because if you're not working on yourself, you are not growing. Many people, they want good life, but good life does not come on scores alone. You need to work.